You are going to be a strong, confident climber in 30 days, and here's how. So I'm starting this series because I am just getting back into climbing after a really long break, and I've noticed that there is a dearth of climbing media out there on the interwebs that lacks a feminist lens. It lacks a lens that is anti-diet culture, that is anti-oppressive, and that is not solely based around climbing to get to the top of the hardest climbs, that isn't just solely focused on being your most fit, most shredded, strongest, like climb 514 like self. Like, yes, I want to be strong and I want to be confident, but I don't think that strength has anything to do with the way you look. And it has more to do with how you embody your values, how you move through the world, how you take up space, and how you feel about yourself. Yeah, standing in your truth and standing in your values is ultimately what strength is to me. And so I want to share with you my approach to climbing, how I merge climbing with my activism, with my values, and with staying true to myself, and how a movement practice like climbing can be incredibly healing and can be incredibly necessary for a lot of us who need to get our rage out, need to express ourselves physically in order to better show up for ourselves, for our friends, for our loved ones, for our communities, and better show up for our purpose, for our work in the world, for our creativity, whatever it is that you are working towards, and to better show up for the world, the liberated world that we are creating, co-creating together. I am always, always, always here to do my best to spread the message of feminist killjoy propaganda. I am always here to debunk the myths of imperialist, white supremacist, capitalist patriarchy, as bell hooks called it. And that will very much be a part of this series. I have just recently gone through getting my certification as a personal trainer, and I have a lot of background in climbing. I've been a climber of 10 plus years, and I've noticed that there is just a lack of climbing media, climbing videos, and how-tos out there that lack a lot of a feminist lens, a trauma-informed lens, and a somatic lens. So that's what I want to share in this series and moving forward, along with the continuation of the feminist critique that I offer to poke holes in the outdoor industry and to talk about and highlight the ways in which toxic masculinity is this epidemic in the outdoor industry. So, of course, feminist analysis and topics and discussions on body politics, discussions on land politics, discussions on the politics of a city, of taking up space, the politics of race, class, and gender will be imbued throughout this work. Still and always. You don't have anything to worry about. Feminist killjoy propaganda will be sprinkled in and is just already part of this whole thing anyways. But I really wanted to start this series about being your most confident, strongest climbing self, because this is for the folks who are just starting out their climbing journey. I think that we need more how-tos, tutorials, more motivational videos, for folks who have never gone into a climbing gym, or who have never climbed before but really, really want to, but they're feeling intimidated by the space for a good reason. And yeah, or this is for people who are just getting back into climbing after a really long hiatus, because for people like me, I took about a 2-year break from climbing, and now I'm getting back into it. And so it can be really anxiety inducing to start something new, or to come back after a really long period of time of taking a break. So maybe you've seen documentaries, movies, or social media posts or clips of climbers, and you're like, oh, they're so cool. Well, guess what? They're just like everybody else. They're just like you. They're just a regular, degular person, as Cardi B said. And everyone started where you are at the beginning. Everyone started not knowing what the hell they were doing. And that's great news for you, because it means that there's only possibilities. There's only an open horizon awaiting you. Like, everyone started with rental shoes or a used pair of shoes that they found in the basement of Next Adventure in so-called Portland, Oregon. That was my origin story. So yeah, so maybe you're wanting to get into climbing, or maybe you're just getting back into climbing after a really long hiatus, or whatever the reason is. You got busy, you got injured or something, or you just had other priorities. I'm coming back, like I said, after a 2-year break, and I thought it would be really fun to start a series where I document how I work with climbing as a way to heal, and as a way to process my rage and my feelings and my emotions, and how I use the movement practice of climbing to help me to keep up a solid, healthy for me foundation with my mind, my body, my soul, and my spirit, so that I can continue to be a contributing member of this collective effort towards collective liberation, so that I can contribute to the world in the ways that are most aligned with my values. Because if I'm not taking care of myself and my body and my vessel, then I can't be a channel for the creative energy and spirit that wants to move through me, and then I can't contribute to the world in the ways that I want to most. I want to be in solidarity with others. I want to be able to show up for others. I want to be able to be my best self and bring my best self to the causes and communities that I care about the most. And part of the ways that I'm able to do that, or that any of us can do that, is only if we are taking care of our physical bodies and our physical needs. And so for me, part of that is through my routine of climbing. Being able to get this movement practice in helps me. Something that I thought a lot about before making this series, and that I'm always thinking about, is how to discuss fitness and exercise, climbing and getting stronger, without talking about all of these things without falling into diet culture, or the hustle purity culture that is the bedrock of this oppressive society that we live in. This is a series where we are going to push back against white supremacist beauty standards and norms. I'm someone who's white. I'm someone who's from an upper middle class background, and I'm a cis person. And so I'm constantly, actively trying to struggle against and resist these white supremacist beauty norms, and I'm always constantly trying to unlearn white supremacist patriarchal standards and expectations. And somebody who I look to and admire to help me along this path has been Erica Hart, to name one of many Black, trans, queer, anti-racist educators who I continue to learn from. Because one of my biggest goals in becoming a personal trainer, one of my biggest goals in helping people to connect with climbing and to be a climbing coach, is to help folks heal their relationship with their bodies, to help you heal your relationship with your agency, with your sense of power, and to help marginalized people take up space in the world, and in this case in the climbing gym, or on the trail at climbing crag, in the outdoor industry. And to do this, I'll be incorporating my background being a trauma-informed personal trainer and a dedicated and always studious feminist killjoy. And I'm also a climber, like I said, of 10 plus years. So I do feel like I have a lot to offer this space and you. So I would love your input. I would love your questions. I would love your help in creating the series and making the most of it. Please drop your comments, whether you're watching this on YouTube or you're listening on Spotify or wherever you stream your podcast. Drop your comments, drop your questions. You can always email me at heyterracollective@gmail.com. And you can follow along on social media at Terra Incognita Media. That's on TikTok. That's on Instagram. And yeah, I'm grateful that you're going to be on this journey with me. I'm excited for what's going to unfold. I hope brings you as much joy as I think it'll bring me. I'm sending you so much love, all of my feminist killjoy power and rage and love. And thanks for joining me on this journey. And I will talk to you in the first episode of this series.